It's been a while since I've done a live video, hasn't it? Whoa. I'm updating my computer right now. Easier for me to monitor the chat. So yeah, today I got a camera in, so I figured I would make a 2025 retro camcorder collection live video, just to share all of the cameras that I personally own and ones that I just have so that I can sell on my eBay. So some are mine, some are, well, I guess they're technically all mine, but they are, some of them will be sold. A couple of them I have boxed up and I'm not going to actually pull those out, but I will try to mention them. So my idea is to go, I don't know, you guys let me know if you would rather have me go from oldest to newest or from newest to oldest. I haven't done this in a few years. I think the last time I did it was 2023, and I had quite a bit of cameras in that video. It was like a 2.5 hour long live video. So this one I don't have as many. I've been busy with stuff lately. My dog had surgery. If you guys have watched any of my B-roll before, you've seen my two dogs. So the brown one, his name's Jackson. He had a tumor in, well, if you guys don't know, dogs have anal glands. He's always had issues releasing his. Really gross, I know. Ended up having a golf ball sized tumor in that gland, and we had to get it removed, and we got the results back yesterday, and apparently in the tumor it was, I don't know what kind of cancer it was, but it is like very aggressive cancer, but they don't know if it has spread anywhere. It could have just been in the gland. So hopefully they removed all of that material. So fingers crossed on that, because that's something that I'm not really prepared to deal with. So anyway, I've been kind of dealing with that this week. His butt is pretty torn up, and just been kind of monitoring him and all that. And so yeah, he's been like pooping himself and stuff like that. Yeah. Anyway, you guys don't want to hear about that. Let me hop in here so that I can read your guys' stuff a little easier. I have to go to work at 3:30 my time, so I figured I would just hurry and jump in here and make this video really quick. And I forgot to get myself a water. I'm gonna have to do that really quick. So, okay. 1 second, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab me a water because I'm already parched from talking. Okie dokie. So I got all the cameras sitting down here on the floor, as you can probably tell from the thumbnail. I just took a quick little picture. But again, yeah, I do have a camera to unbox. And yeah, I don't know, do you guys want me to go from newest to oldest or oldest to newest? I don't know, let me know. Somebody said something. Have you ever seen the Sharp VL FD3? Looks pretty cool. I have not. Is that one of the Sharp Slim cams? Is that one of those VHS ones? Okay, so I guess we'll go oldest to newest. So I guess when I get to the camera year, I'll unbox that really quick. So, okay, so we'll start off with the oldest. And if you guys have seen my other videos of this, I have made this camera has been on my list before, so we'll start off with it. And it is the Panasonic PV420 from 1989. This is probably one of my all-time favorite cameras. VHS cameras are just really fun to use because, well, they're big, they're heavy, they take a gigantic tape, obviously, because it records to VHS. But I just love the colors that come out of it. The footage looks really good, in my opinion. Now, obviously, VHS doesn't look good, but for VHS, I like the way that it looks. I've found ways to attach like fisheyes and stuff like that to this, so filming skateboarding and all that is really, really fun. And they're just an experience. They're just much different, and you kind of have to think about your shot a little bit more than other modern camcorders and cameras. So yeah, this is the second one that I've owned. Around 2018, 2019, I bought one from a local church in my area. I think they sold it to me for $15, and I held on to that, and then ended up moving out of a house that I was renting, and there's a lot of cameras that I thought, I don't really need these, and so I ended up just donating them to, I don't know, the DI, well, you guys might not know what the DI is. Deseret Industries, I don't know if you guys know what that is. Goodwill, Idaho Youth Ranch, those are kind of the thrift stores that I have around here. Anyway, so I got rid of that, and then I made a fun video along the way, and there was some footage in there that was filmed with one of these, and I really regretted selling it because I was like, that is some awesome looking footage. Why did I get rid of that? And so I found another one and got it, and I ended up buying the battery and stuff for it. I have the case and the charger and a bunch of cables and stuff for it as well, and I've just been holding on to it. I don't use it all that much, but I'll find a reason for it someday. The batteries can be a little hard to find, but they are, I mean, gigantic. They add quite a bit of weight to the camera itself. It is a lead acid battery. It's a 12 volt, I believe. So, yeah, those things will cost you around $50 nowadays. So, yeah, that is the oldest one that I currently have. I have checked out camcorders that are a little bit older, but this one is one of my favorites, so I haven't gotten rid of it yet. That being said, shipping for those to buy and to sell is outrageous because they're huge and they're heavy. Anyway, okay, nothing in the chat yet. So, so this is a camera I have played with a little bit. It hasn't made its debut on the channel just yet. But this is another Panasonic one. This is the PV-362. Now this camera is from 1992, and I think it might have either dirty tape heads, bad capacitors, capacitors going out, or the I don't know if like the tape heads or the tape the pins or something need to be adjusted because the footage is really glitchy looking. And when I make the review on it, you guys will see what I mean. But I think this camera was like a pretty high-end camera for back in the day, just because of the features that it has with its time frame that it was made. So just real quick before I, make the, give away all of the information for the review. You can pull it out to kind of have it magnified to look through on the viewfinder, or you can push it in and it kind of blows up the screen so you can kind of look at it from afar. They call it sports mode. So I guess if you're filming handheld and you have the camera away from you like this, it works better. It has stereo audio, which is really cool because from 1992, you don't really get a lot of cameras that have stereo audio. The viewfinder is black and white, and you do get like a manual focus ring. You get like a time-lapse mode on it, and it records to VHS-C, and it only has RCA outsource. So I don't know if Super VHS was out in 1992. Not quite sure, but it is cool because you can close that and keep the dirt out and all that. So yeah, you have pretty much all of the manual settings that you would think of with a high-end camcorder. So yeah, that one is the Panasonic PV362, and I will probably sell this one after I make my review on it, which will hopefully come out soon rather than later. So yeah, I don't really know anything else to really say about it. You can do that with the viewfinder. I assume that there was a case, like a hard case that it sat in, and I think you folded it up and set it in there like this. But when I put it in a bag, it kind of makes it taller, so leaving it down like that makes it fit in a bag a lot easier. Oh yeah, another thing you can do is you can plug in a 3.5mm external microphone there. You just have to make sure that it's a powered one, and yeah, we'll move on from this one. I just found it. It was a cheap price, and it kind of stood out to me. So I was like, oh, that'd be fun to check out, and I was told that it works. All right. My oldest video camera is a 1965 Sony. I don't know if it works. 1965. Is it a like Super 8 or like a 8mm film camera? Oldest camera I have that works is from 1971-ish. Yeah, I haven't found any like 70s era VHS cameras, because I know those ones you had to have like two parts to it. So you had like the camera and then a cable went to like a VCR to record to. That sounded like a big pain in the ass, but I don't even know if any of those really work anymore. Oh man. Old camcorders forever and ever. I have a CCD TR707 PAL from Sony. I think it's a DXC 2000. Is that the one from 1965? I'll have to look that one up on eBay, see if I can find any models just to see what it looks like. Okay, moving on. So this is the one that I just did a review on. And this is the JVC GR-SZ7. This one's from 1994. This one is a Super VHS-C camcorder. I didn't know that JVC made Super VHS all the way back in 1994. I kind of thought it was more of a late 90s, early 2000s kind of thing. My voice just cracked. Allergies, man, it kind of messes with me. So this one looks very traditional to a lot of the JVC VHS-C camcorders from the 90s. Again, the only difference is that it's Super VHS. Really cool display here, turns blue, has a lot of cool icons and stuff. in my review, I mentioned that they kind of seemed like they tried to make it look futuristic and really high tech, but to me, I don't think the footage really looks all much better than regular VHS. Now, I believe you can buy Super VHS tapes and use them in here, and it'll probably make your footage look a lot better. The tape that I had or have in it, oh, you can't actually see it. I don't think it is, but oh well. You did get a colored viewfinder on it, and a nice manual focus wheel here, even though the viewfinder is not the best viewfinder image-wise to be able to actually see the details of the focusing. And yeah, pretty much everything else is what a lot of these JVC Super V8 or VHS-C cameras are like. So, if you want to see more details on this one, you can go watch the review that I posted back on Monday, if you haven't seen it yet. So, yeah, this one's from 1994. I will be selling this one. This one is in great condition. So, it will come with a battery and a charger, probably a tape as well. So, if you're looking for this one, just be on the lookout on my eBay store for it. And with that being said, any part in this video, you can go check out my eBay store. I have it linked in the description. I say that all the time, but yeah, I got fisheyes and some other fun cameras and stuff like that on there as well. So go check out my eBay shop. Have you ever come across a Canon L2? It's one of the few high-8 consumer camcorders allowed for interchangeable lenses. I have found a lot of L1s and L2s. I have never tried to get one for myself just because none of the capacitors will work on it. It seems like I've seen videos of people, I forget who it was, but someone bought like 5 of them one time, and every single one of them had issues because of the capacitors. So unless you know how to replace capacitors, I would not bother with buying one of those. But it is really cool. It was kind of the camcorder that came out before the Canon XL1, which, if you haven't seen the XL1, is it was a professional version of pretty much the L2. It had a 3CCD sensor in it, interchangeable lenses, and you could, well, it recorded to mini DV. I think that camera came out in like 97. I did have one a long time ago, but that thing was so gigantic that I never used it, never took it anywhere, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna sell it. And now they're really, really hard to find ones that work good, so yeah. Super cool looking camera, but hard to find working condition. My oldest working camera is from July 1981. I broke my Magnavox camera from 1981 during my movie. Yeah, I've broken cameras before. Either working on them or filming with them. I've had them fall over on tripods when it's windy out before too, and they've broken. Yeah. I've had well, no, I won't go there. See, do you know if anyone is making vlogs around with a VHS camcorder? Found the idea kind of cool. If you want to stand out, what do you guys think? I've thought about making vlogs kind of with these cameras, but I feel like my life isn't interesting enough to film like vlogs with. Maybe do like a day in the life or something like that. Or maybe, I don't know, kind of capture like the day if I go out to like a skate park and film with one of these old cameras or something. I don't know. Yeah, again, like I just don't think that I'm interesting enough to vlog for anybody to really care. Have you ever heard of the Canon MD-101? Mine has a lot of old memories. That sounds familiar. MD-101. I'm not sure. I'll have to look that one up. I have a working portable Betamax and camera. I've looked at the Betamax BMC 110, and I really wished it would have worked, but it didn't. The tape tray would pop open, but other than that, it wouldn't do anything. From what I heard, you might have to put a tape in it to actually get the camera to turn on, but I ordered a tape. It was a Betamax tape, and they sent me a VHS tape. So I had to send that back, and I was like, you know what, screw it. I don't think this thing works. And then I ended up selling the camera for like $1 or something like that. Because generally, if a camera doesn't work and I don't know how to fix it, or I don't find it worth fixing, then I'll just sell it or put it on eBay as a bid for $1. So you can sometimes check my eBay store and find some good deals. You know what? We'll do this one first. All right. Next up, we got the Sony DCR VX700. I don't know when. Oh, this one is from 1995, and this is the little brother of the Sony VX1000. Now, you might be like, that looks almost identical to the Sony VX1000, and maybe you haven't even heard or seen of one of these. So, really, this is the exact same camera as a Sony VX1000. The only difference is it obviously doesn't have the handle up on top, and it doesn't have a 3 CCD sensor. It has a single CCD sensor. Everything else on this camera is the exact same besides the lens. The lens on the VX1000 is a little bit longer. Actually, I have one. I was going to go one by one, but you can see they pretty much look the exact same, but you can see that the VX1000 kind of has this little boxy part that sticks out right there, and this one doesn't. So the lens is a little bit longer, and it has a top handle. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty much the exact same. They're both really cool. I'm stoked that I have both of them, and they're both English models, and they both work. They both record the tapes, except this, I don't know, the motor or something in here, it screams, man. It is so freaking loud that it kind of ruins the audio. So I kind of have to go tapeless with the VX700. But I was showing this one first because it's technically newer than this one. I think parts of this one are from 96 and parts of this one are from 99. So a little bit newer than the VX700. But yeah, they're pretty much the exact same. So I want to say that you can take parts off of these and use it on here, but don't quote me on that. If you haven't seen, well, let's see, the story behind the 700. Someone was selling it on eBay for, I think I ended up buying it for like $250. They said that it worked perfect, it worked fine, it was in full working condition. I seen that it was really clean, and it was an English model, so I jumped on it as fast as I could, and I'm glad that I did, because this is a kind of a hard camera to find. They're not as expensive as the Sony VX1000s, but in my opinion, I think they're harder to find, especially in working condition or as a NTSC English model. So yeah, these ones are kind of a collector's item. You can generally find them for, I don't know, $200 to $350 on eBay. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about it. Yeah. So the story behind the VX1000, if you haven't seen the review on it, pretty much I got two of them. The first one that I had, it worked completely fine. Besides the rocker zoom, the spring or whatever didn't work on it, and so if I zoomed in and then let go, the rocker would just stay forward and it would just continuously zoom in. Same thing with it zooming out. So I had to fix that, and then on the bottom, this plastic piece was gone and the tripod plate was gone. But there's pretty much a caster, whatever kind of metal they make like Hot Wheels like bodies out of, that metal. There's pretty much like a frame that everything sits into, and so that is part of the frame down there, and it was completely broken out. It is metal, and you could see like the motherboard and all of that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this thing apart. I ended up buying a frame and parts and stuff like that to fix it on from eBay. Took it all apart, put it all back together in the new frame, and it wouldn't turn on. And I sat and I messed with it forever, and finally I came back to it like 5-6 months later, and I messed around with it, and I was like, okay, I need to find another camera to replace the parts with. So I found another one. It was really cheap, but the mic was completely broken off. The whole tape part here was broken and bent. It wouldn't eject. And so when I got it, I was like, okay, before I even take it apart, I just want to see if this camera turns on. Sure enough, the camera turned on, and it was like practically perfectly fine besides the tape deck. So really all I did was I took the parts from the first camera and just fixed the second camera. And so this is the second camera. So I just replaced the top handle and pretty much the tape deck here, and it worked perfect. So these cameras really aren't too hard to work on, at least from my experience. Now, I've heard some stuff about like the lens assembly and stuff can be really, really tedious and hard to work on, but pretty much the ribbon cables and all that kind of stuff is pretty easy to fix and all that. So that's kind of the story on this. Again, you can go watch that review if you want to learn more about it. It does kind of have a bit of a skip in the audio and the video, so I don't know if there's something to do with the tape heads or something like that, but it kind of has like a skip and it'll kind of glitch, and the audio will kind of sound weird. So I don't know. It does record the tape, so I'll have to maybe figure that out someday down the line. But yeah, that is the VX1000 from 96, 99, something like that. Okay, what have you guys been saying here? So on my computer, there's a there's a super chat goal. Should I set a goal for you guys to pay me? I'm joking. Maybe someday. Let's see. I've heard the Sony VX700 is a rare camcorder. Yes, it can be, especially ones that are working. Sorry, I'm just reading you guys' comments. Which camcorder is your favorite in like aesthetic and design? That's a hard one. I'm kind of a big fan of like weird looking camcorders. I like the way that the VX3 looks. The VX3 was the model before the VX1000. The only high 8 camcorder ever to have a 3CCD sensor. That camera looks weird, but also kind of cool at the same time. But I can't really think of other cameras. I mean, like the VX1000 is always a really cool looking one. Really, just like the like prosumer level cameras just look really cool to me. The Sony NEX VG10, that's a really interesting camera because it's a camcorder body with a DSLR lens attachment. So really weird on that one. I do have one of those for sale if anybody wants it. So yeah, all right, we'll keep moving here. So this one is technically not mine. This one is my dad's. He let me, back way early on the channel, I was trying to figure out a way to make money and be able to buy cameras to make videos about. And my dad worked at Deseret Industries for about a year, around 2018, 2019, something like that. And so people were bringing in all these different cameras. The place that he worked at figured that these cameras were too outdated for people to buy, so they didn't even want to sell them. So anytime people would bring these in, I'm not joking, they would just throw them in the garbage. So every day my dad got there, he'd go out there and he'd go dumpster diving and find all of the camcorders and just like different electronics and stuff, and pull them out and pretty much get them working. My dad's pretty good at like fixing computers and game consoles and stuff like that. So he got these, made sure they worked, and he'd sell them to me for like $5 or $10. So this one's technically his. I gave a bunch of his cameras back to him because early on in my channel, I just wanted to, make videos about cameras, but I didn't really have, side money to just sit and buy cameras. So I borrowed some of his and forgot to give this one back. So this one is the Sony DCR PC100. And I do believe this one is from 1999. I don't know if this camera itself is from 1999, but I'm pretty sure it debuted in 1999. And a lot of people want to say that this is kind of a mini VX1000. I'll let you guys be the judge of that if you've ever used one of these. But they're really goofy, but they're really cool at the same time. They're obviously boxy. It has a lot of like professional features to it. Not professional, but like pretty good features. The zoom is just really weird. Like, it's a really uncomfortable camera to hold and try to use. So I've attached like cold shoe handles to the top of it and like put like a fisheye on the front and stuff like that, and filmed some videos. It's pretty fun to use. It's pretty much pocket size, so if you have like a coat that has pretty big pockets, you can put it in there and whip it out whenever you want. Especially like I've made a video, if you really want to do like really fast moving like skateboarding and stuff like that, you can get one of these, put the fisheye on it, and like a top handle to film with, and be able to just cruise downtown and film, and then put it away, film, put it away, so on and so forth. But yeah, super weird little camera. Just the build style of it is just funky, and I definitely recommend getting one of these. These things kind of hold their value, especially ones that are in a pretty good working condition. They can sell for like $250. So there's some other cool ones out there. I really want to check out the PC110 and the PC120. Those ones you can record to the Sony Memory Stick Duo cards, but the video is hot garbage on that from what I've heard. But yeah, they have like a cool like little flash that pops up if you want to take pictures with it and stuff. Yeah, look those ones up. They're pretty much the same kind of style, just a little bit more going on with it, and a little bit newer. So yeah, that is the PC100 from 1999. Let's see. Local access. Let's see. Had a yard sale, picked up a Sony DSR. Are the PD150s and the PD170s the first three letters DSR instead of DCR? Huh. I always thought it was DCR. Anyway, let's see. All of the cords work perfect. Only $10. You got a PD170 for $10. That's insane. My dad actually, when he worked at that thrift shop, yeah, he got it was a Sony HDR FX7 for like $12, and it was perfect. Like no issues with it or anything. It was like immaculate. Someone had it, probably never used it, and then just dropped it off, and it was like, That was, I don't know, maybe 7 years ago. So, I mean, those people could have gotten some pretty good money out of it still back then, because I think that camera came out, I mean, it was like 10 years old maybe at that time. So, yeah, sometimes you can get really lucky with stuff. Do you collect pocket camcorders like the Kodak, Sanyo, Toshiba? No, I don't. Like the flip cameras and the, what are they, like the DGX or DXGs, whatever those are called. I don't know. Those just bore me. Like they're just not fun. I feel like those kind of came out in a weird period of time where like everything was transitioning from like tape over to SD cards, and I just feel like the video quality on a lot of those aren't really great. I feel kind of the same way with a lot of like the HDD cameras, like the internal hard drive ones. I don't really care for DVD camcorders. They just, I don't know, they're just not fun. They're really small. They just feel like they were meant to just be budget friendly and cheap. And I don't know, I don't really have fun with them all that much. Generally, when I find cameras, they have to look cool first, and then I'll go from there. But I mean, like if I find one that at like a thrift store or something, I'll definitely pick it up. Like I have a camera, I'll do a review on it eventually. But it's pretty much the next model up from the first camera that I ever bought myself, and I'll get to that. Your dad is cool. Mine would never. Yeah, my dad was actually really good at figuring out how to fix the red rings of death on the Xbox 360. So, yeah, that was super cool. I never had that issue with my Xbox 360, but he knew how to fix it. Fat fingers? Are you saying I have fat fingers, old radios? How dare you? All right, I'll wait on those. Sorry, hang on. All right, moving on. Where were we? All right, next up we have the Sony DCR TRV 900. So this is another mini VX1000. There's videos and stuff like that out there of people comparing the footage side by side, and they look pretty similar. I just love these cameras. I think these cameras look really cool. They're kind of like if you took pretty much like a VX1000 and you just made it compact and almost pocket sized. They're just really cool. They're getting a lot harder to find in good condition. Especially ones that are an English model. I've had about 4 of these, and I've had some that were in pretty good working condition, and I've had some that were in immaculate condition, but the motor for the tape drum was completely dead. So I ended up like filming tapeless and stuff like that on that one, and then I ended up selling it. Just because I wanted like a fully functional one, and this one is fully functional. I just need to find the lens hood that screws onto the front of it. Funny thing, when I bought this, the seller said that it comes with a comes with a lens hood, but it's not the right size, but you can probably find an adapter to it. And so when I got it, they sent me a freaking VX1000 lens hood. So the 2 VX1000s that I bought to fix each other, those ones were just haggard, just beat to hell, broken. People drilled holes and stuff like that into them to like attach stuff to it. And the one that came with this was like really, really nice compared to those ones. And so I was like, screw it, I'll just throw it on that, on my camera, wherever it is, on my VX1000 that I have that's finally working, and, you know, do that. So I don't see why that person thought that it would work on this, because it's only designed to fit the VX1000. Like the lens hood for the VX1000 doesn't even work with the VX700. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, this one's nice because it has a 3.5-inch LCD, which I love. I generally like Panasonic cameras a little bit more than Sony's, just because their screens are always huge and they just look really, really good. So you have a black and white viewfinder, and it's got a 3 CCD sensor in it, along with stereo. It's got the same lens thread diameter as a VX1000, which is a 52 millimeter. So if you want to run like a fisheye on it and film skateboarding, you know, you can do all that. You know, I just kind of realized that it's kind of set up the same kind of way as the 700, VX700. The cold shoe is kind of offset like the 700 is. So I don't know, maybe it's kind of based a little bit more off of that. But yeah, these are getting a lot harder to find that work. They're kind of hard to find on eBay that aren't like Japanese models. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you guys look around on eBay or anything as frequently as I do, but I'm just seeing like Japanese listings like kind of just take over eBay and like Mercari. A lot of stuff is just Japanese, and I hate buying Japanese stuff. I've bought one Japanese camera and I kind of got screwed on it. The capacitors were bad on it. I think it was the video on the Sony TR1. So I don't know. I'm getting kind of tired of seeing Japanese stuff, and unless people like using it. Japanese stuff is nice because it is NTSC, so it's compatible with our media and stuff like that, but all of the words, all of the menus and everything is in Japanese, and you can't change it to English. Maybe more modern cameras you can, but I don't think like these ones you can. So unless you can tape over it and write in what it actually is, you better learn Japanese. So anyway, that's the TRV 900 from 1999, the third quarter. So probably one of my favorites. Let's see. I'm trying to keep up on you guys' comments here. I kind of feel like you guys are just conversating with yourselves or with each other. The TRV 900 is the reason why I love retro camcorders. Yeah, it's a really cool camera. You didn't see that. The lid was still on. I'm hoping I can buy one of the DCR SX series. Is that one of the HDD camcorders? Let me know. Hi Brandon, I got a troubleshooting question. If you don't want to deal with such in this stream, it's all good. Just skip my question. Maybe towards the end I could help you if I remember. And also if I have time before I have to go to work. Let's see, my DVD camcorder makes a circular line on the disc when writing on the data, the DVD. Okay, I will try to come back to your troubleshooting comment, okay? I love Japanese camcorders. Sony is my favorite brand. Yeah. I would probably put my... I probably have to say Sony's probably my favorite as well, because I would say like the majority of my cameras that I have are Sony's. But Panasonic makes some damn good cameras as well. Like I just sold my Panasonic... What the hell was it? It was the AG DV1000. I believe it was kind of like the rival to the VX1000. It's a goofy looking camcorder. They have a bunch of different names for like the exact same camera. What the hell is that? Huh, okay. It's like a floaty in here somewhere. Yeah, the what is it? The DVC-30. I feel like is a very underrated camera. A lot of people, I've gotten a few of those cameras in, and they always just sit forever until somebody buys them for um, a much lower price eventually. But those cameras are really cool. That one actually has night vision with a 3 CCD sensor and a 3.5-inch LCD screen. I think was it Ghost Hunters or Taps or whatever used it for filming. I think it was like the first few seasons of Taps or something like that. So yeah, I mean it's a cool camera. And then obviously like the DVX 1000 is a very popular one. I really wish I would have kept the one that I had because it was in really good condition. But I was trying to get the money for something else, so I needed to sell it along with my VX 2100 that I had. I shouldn't have sold that one because that one was practically brand new, but we'll find another one maybe someday, maybe not. We'll move on. Let's see. Yeah. So technically, next is the Canon GL1, and I got two of these because this one is for sale right now on my eBay store. This one's my personal one. This was my second retro camcorder that I bought. The first one that I had was a what was it? A JVC GR AX50. And then someone in Idaho Falls, Idaho, was selling this one. I think I got it back in 2018. I paid like $280 or $285 or something for it, and I haven't had any issues with it. The tape heads or the tape deck is kind of loud sometimes, but other than that, this thing it works perfect. I love the Canon GL1. Also, another one of my favorites, probably just because I love the way that the footage looks, and it's just really, really fun to use. And compared to a lot of other, what would you call it, prosumer level cameras that are this kind of shape or body style, this thing is insanely small. To be able to get like the top handle up here, I mean, my hand barely even fits under there with any room. It's just really fun to film with, skateboarding or not. It has a great look to it. You can get a really good looking picture out of it if you use Firewire, or if you want a little bit more of a grungy kind of low budget look, you can use either S-Video or the AV cables. So really cool camera, and these things are everywhere on eBay and secondhand websites and stuff like that, and they are pretty damn cheap, and I recommend getting one of these over a GL2. The GL2, in my experience, generally have a lot more issues than the GL1 does. So yeah, definitely one of my favorites. Now this one, I think I might have to update the listing, but if I remember right, the Firewire port doesn't seem to work on this. So if you do buy this, just know that the Firewire doesn't work. I'm not sure if the S-Video and stuff does as well, but everything else on this works perfectly fine. What does it come with? It comes with the remote. There's no batteries in this, and then it'll come with a brand new battery and tape. So all of that, I don't remember how much I have it listed for. So yeah, that is the Canon GL1, and I believe it came out in 1999. I think my personal one is from 2000, so somewhere in the same ballpark as the PC100. So yeah, if you want one, go ahead and check out the link in the description to my eBay store. Shameless plugging, aren't I? All right. Where was the comments at? Alternative to tapeless. It's true with vintage DSLR lenses as well. They put from Japan in the title and charge double. I think a lot of people just end up spending a lot more to ship from Japan. So if you get like free shipping or something from Japan, they might up the price to compensate for the shipping costs, right? Yeah. Alternative to tapeless camcorders. Oh, I can't buy an immersion RC around here. Can I ask if there's an alternative to it? I heard the DVR FPV works, but it has audio issues. I actually bought one of those. What did I do with it? Because I've been meaning to make a video, but I'm slacking. So, I don't know. I bought this off of AliExpress, and there's like a million of them on there, and I don't know like which one is the true one or whatever. But it would record, but it would have obviously audio issues and video issues. So I don't know if there's like a certain cable that I have to use for it. The only way that I was able to get video was with this. So I plugged it into the JVC SZ7 and got picture out of it, but obviously this is just a video cable, not an audio cable. So yeah, I don't know. I gotta play around. It's kind of cheesy. It is aluminum on the outside, so that's kind of cool. It kind of looks plasticky, but yeah, I gotta play around with this a little bit more to kind of learn a lot about it. There's a dude on YouTube, and I forget what the heck his name is. He kind of sounds like a French dude, but I think he lives somewhere in like California. He makes a lot of videos about how to like go tapeless and kind of rig your cameras to be able to go tapeless and stuff like that with like really old cameras. And this is like one that he uses a lot. So shout out to that dude. If you guys know his name, leave a comment of what it is so people can go check him out as well. I need to start a podcast with all these retro camcorder channels. I've kind of had that in my mind for quite a few years now, to start some kind of a podcast or something, or like interviews with them or something like that. I just don't know like what kind of content to make on it, you know. I don't know, maybe interview you guys or something. I'm just not I don't have any experience interviewing people or asking the questions, so I don't know. I might have to try it someday with maybe like a friend or something. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that. Where are we at? Talk about my MD101. I couldn't find a lot of information about it. In my opinion, it's sad because it's one of my favorites, and I want to know more about it. Again, I will check that out on eBay at some point. But yeah, that was kind of one of my main goals when I started this whole channel, was to kind of just like shine the light on like these cameras that have kind of just been forgotten in history. I mean, obviously there's famous ones like the JVC, what is it, the C1U or C7U, whatever one was in Back to the Future that they used, and Stranger Things. You know, like that's a big popular camera. The VX1000, a lot of late 90s, early 2000s cameras are popular. But there's a lot of different ones out there that you can't find videos on YouTube about. You can't find any information on the internet about. So I was like, it was kind of like my goal is to just kind of like make an archive of like as many old camcorders as I could for forever, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to make these reviews sometimes because even I can't find information on it. and you can't find any information on Google or like some of these like manual websites. So yeah, that's kind of my goal. Also, I seen someone from here. Wow, someone on here is from Russia. Chris Parr, how are you? It's probably like in the middle of the night over there for you, isn't it? Anyway, let's keep going. I think I'm at the point. No, I got one more camera, and then we will unbox this camera. Okay, so if you guys have seen my other videos, you have probably also seen this little camera. I need to make another review on this because I have a really old one on it back when I wasn't very comfortable talking on camera and I wasn't very experienced with editing. But this is the Panasonic, I don't remember what it is. 1 second. Panasonic VDR D230. I believe this one's from 2001. This one is a DVD camcorder. I never use this just because, well, I don't really like DVD camcorders, but the only reason why I hold on to it is because this is my wife's uncle's camcorder. And he used it for like everything. Every time they go out on like a camp trip, vacation, whatever, he was always recording everybody. He ended up passing in 2014 from cystic fibrosis. So it's kind of like a little memorabilia thing that her aunt gave me. And so he has like the original box to it, all of, like the accessories and like the original cables and chargers and pretty much a bunch of stuff for it, a whole bag and everything. So it's kind of hard for me to get rid of, even though I don't use it, because it's kind of sentimental to her, and I feel like if I get rid of it, I might be haunted. I don't know. So it was kind of cool because from what I heard, I never got to meet the guy. He was super into cameras and stuff like that as well. So just kind of feels wrong to get rid of it from a fellow camera enthusiast. So kind of a goofy little camera. The cold shoe here on top is really pointless because, well, you can see that you can't really put much on there because the things that will like screw down onto it just kind of butt up against like the CD-ROM. And yeah, the viewfinder pulls out, which is nice. If you're using this battery, I have another battery that's double the size, so it sticks like clear the hell out here, and it sticks out past the viewfinder, so you can't even use it unless you have this battery on it. So just kind of funny. I don't know. It's got a little light on the front, and I think you might be able to. No, I think you can take pictures to SD card, but you can't record to it. So yeah, I need to redo a video on this one. So yeah, that one's the Panasonic VDR D230 from 2001, I believe. And you might notice these shelves back here. Most of these cameras that I have, I put those shelves up, and now I put them on display over there, and it looks really cool. So if you're wondering what all those empty shelves are doing over there with the lights, I usually have cameras sitting over there, but obviously we're talking about them today, so I had to take them down. Anyway, shall we open up the camera? Bam. Whoa. Bam. I don't want you stealing my information or knowing where I live. All right, we got someone from France. What time is it for you guys? How are you guys are you guys up in the middle of the night? Like, what's going on over there? Canon Super 8 cameras are great too. I want to get into Super 8, but it seems really expensive, and I don't know if it's worth it. And I need a really easy way to digitize the footage without having to buy a big-ass projector, because I have a small house, and I don't have anywhere to put something big like that. Great collection, man. Just picked up a VX2000 because of your videos. Awesome. I love the VX2000. I actually just picked one up myself. I have a video on the VX2000. It had a weird power issue with the power switch, but the one that I have now works fine. I'm just missing the magnifying piece for the eye cup or whatever for the viewfinder. I've looked on eBay and I cannot find one, and I'll find one someday. You know, I need to just like have segments of where I read you guys' comments, rather than doing it after every camera. I really need to script stuff out, but I generally just do this on the fly. I seen someone use the Sony DV Direct VDR MC3 disc recorder. The format is really clean, but you need to convert from DVD to computer. Extra step. Look into my phone is sitting on top of it right now. It's a VCR/DVD player. It's the Panasonic DMR EZ485V. You can actually burn discs to VHS, and you can burn VHS to DVD. And it has an HDMI out port along with a FireWire import, S-Video import, and RCA import. So what I do is I run a HDMI cable from the VCR over to my computer, but then I have a HDMI to USB converter. And so pretty much what it does is it makes my computer think that I have a webcam plugged into it. And so then if you have a camera hooked up to it, or if you have like a VHS or a DVD in it, you can pretty much play it and then go into your webcam app on your laptop or computer or whatever, and it'll have the little option to switch it from like the webcam on your computer to a external webcam, and it thinks that the VCR is the webcam. But because you have a camera connected to it, your camera can also be a webcam, and the VCR is a capture device, if that makes any sense. I have a video on it. Kind of hard to explain. But yeah, there might be a few other models that are out there, but this thing is freaking awesome. I think it was like one of the last like VHS VCRs to be out, and I'm pretty sure they still sell for like $350 on eBay. Anyway, let's keep on moving. Let's open this up. Okay. Take some guesses. I just want you to guess. I don't know. I'm trying to interact with you. What camera's in here? I'll give you a minute or something. Sony camcorder. Yes, it is a Sony camcorder. But what Sony camcorder is it? Man, we even got people in Colombia that's on here. The internet is so cool sometimes, isn't it? How I can have people from 3 different countries be hanging out with us. Is it a big one? No, it's not. Not very. No, it's pretty small actually. Or a small compact one. Yeah, I would say it's kind of more compact. Little bit bigger than compact. Just a little. Can you suggest a threaded fisheye adapter for a 72mm lens. What kind of adapter are you looking for? Like a step up or a step down ring? I'm not really sure. Like, are you looking for like a spacer ring? Brand wise, I don't really know. I usually just find stuff on Amazon that is the cheapest that I can find. Sometimes those can be really crappy because your things can kind of get stuck together, or it'll get stuck on your lens. Sony DCR DVD 101. No. Okay, I will unveil it here. Watch it just be like completely broken. It's a weird box. Alright. HC14. Ew, gross. Why would I want one of those? No, I say that because it seems like those HC series cameras seem to always have touchscreen issues. Every time I've looked on eBay, or I have gotten a like I've bought, what are they called? Lots of camcorders on eBay. I've seemed to always get one of those HC series cameras, and the screen never works. Like the touch screen, well, no, the screen works, the touch screen doesn't. And I swear, like 90% of the functions, even the playback functions, are from the touch screen. So I kind of avoid those. And no, it is not the, well, that sounded really aggressive. Sorry, hold on. It is not the TRV-19, is that what you said? No. I'm like making this sound like it's a huge deal. It's not, but I've been looking for one of these for a while that works and is not a Japanese model. And I found one. If I can get the stuff off here. It is the Sony DCR TRV-950. Yay! And I scratched it with the fucking razor blade. Oh well, that's already kind of beat up on the side. Yeah, apparently this works. I did a review on one a while back, and I think one of the real gears was cracked, because it would rewind or fast forward and you could hear this clicking. It worked fine. It just, you could tell that it was gonna have an issue at some point. I ended up selling that one. And then after that, man, I could not find one that was at a good price, that was working, or wasn't a Japanese model. So I finally found this one. I don't think the battery's charged on it, but I think, what did they say? Oh, wait, hang on. This comes with a stylus. So this does have a touch screen on it. And I think this came out in 2003. So I want to say it came out at the same time as the VX2100. What the heck? Oh, it's got the lanyard. Okay. I don't want the lanyard. Does anybody use the lanyards on camcorders? Because I always take them off. They're just too big and bulky to hang from your neck. I don't know. I find it annoying. Like a DSLR works because the camera just stays pointing straight. They're not as heavy. They're a lot smaller too, but I don't know. I don't like using lanyards. I thought he said, oh yeah, that's right there. Yeah, comes with a little stylus, so you can use it on the touch screen, I think this is like one of the only cameras that I've seen that comes with a stylus. And I don't exactly remember, but I think you can connect to the internet with this. I think you can live stream with it. I don't remember. I have to look into that. It's been a while since I've played with one of these, maybe 2-3 years ago. So I can't turn it on because, well, maybe I have a battery. Hold on. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like this camera isn't like a super sought after camera. I feel like people generally want the TRV 900 more, which I understand why. Hey, okay. And the seller did say that it was dirty, whatever that means. I mean, a little bit, like where like the battery sits, and he said like where the tape sits in. But it doesn't look nasty in there to me. He said it plays tapes and all that. Sent me a bunch of pictures and stuff. So yeah, I'll have to play with this a little bit. But it's kind of interesting that the TRV 900 and a lot of other professional prosumer level cameras, they come with the, whoa, what happened? Oh, we good? Okay. My computer was like freaking out. Yeah, so they usually take like the NP style batteries, and this one takes the smaller ones that like the consumer level cameras come with. So just interesting. Yeah, so that is the TRV 950, and this one also has a 3CCD sensor in it. So it's pretty much just the next model up from the what is it, the TRV 900. So then they made the 950. So they also made professional ones. So like how they made the VX 2000 and the 2100, and then they made the PD 150 and 170. And those cameras only had XLR audio because they were the professional ones. They made them with these as well. They were the what the heck were they? The PDX10 or PD10, something like that. And they only used XLR audio as well. Hopefully I'll find one of those to try out someday, but I kind of hate them because they only use XLR audio. So, yeah, that is that. So that one I'm actually keeping. I'm not going to actually sell that one, just because I've kind of wanted that one for a while. Okay. You guys probably seen it, didn't you? Where were we? See, I'm in the same boat with my VX 2000, missing magnifying and touchy power switch. I think I remember somewhat, maybe it was somebody said it to me, or I seen it in like a Reddit post or something like that, that the VX 2000s have kind of like power issues with the power switch. But yeah, this one is right here. So I just barely got this one in a week or so ago. Obviously you can see it looks, they look kind of stupid without the magnifying eye cup for it. So yeah, I can't really use it because the screen is, I mean, look at how tiny that is. You can't see nothing. I mean, I got the LCD screen obviously, but sometimes you need the viewfinder, especially when you're outside in the sun. But yeah, this one's pretty clean. I got it for a pretty good price, and I'm gonna hold on to this one just because, again, they're getting hard to find. So I don't know. Do you guys think so my goal with a lot of this is I want to get all of the Sony like VX model collection. So I want to get the VX3. I got the VX 1000, the VX 700. I now have the 2000. Do you guys think I should get the 2100, even though it's the same exact camera as this? I got the TRV 900 and the TRV 950, and I don't really care to get the PD 150 or 170, just because, I don't really care about them. Because I know a lot of people like to argue that the 2100 VX 2100 is the exact same camera as the 2000, just better low light capability. So I don't know. I think it has better image quality than the VX 2000. Sony VX 9000? No. I have nowhere to put that in my freaking house. They're kind of cool though, because it's like they just chopped off the front of a VX 1000 and then just put like a big broadcasting body on it. But no, maybe to check out on the channel someday, but I have nowhere to keep that. They're just way too big. So yeah, this one is from 2002. So the VX 2000 came out in 2000, and I think they made it all the way up to 2000. The VX 2100 came out in 2003, so they probably made it till whenever they stopped. So there might be a few of these that are from 2003. I don't know. But yeah, this one works pretty good. So I will keep on moving. And I'm going to have to get me another water. Should I get a Sony PD150 for 15 euros? It has a broken viewfinder and it's untested. I mean, I sound very uncultured saying this. I don't know the difference between like 15 euros and $15, but I don't think it's that much of a difference. So if you can't fix it, or maybe it just has dirty tape heads, which generally a lot of the time that's just the issue. I mean, $15, even if it doesn't work, oh well. You go out to McDonald's and you buy a meal there for $15. So I don't think you're really out much. Generally, when I see something that's that low and it has a possibility of being usable, I'll just get it, and then if it doesn't work, oh well, I'll just resell it or give it away to somebody or something like that. So yeah, I would check out the PD 150 for sure. It's pretty much the professional version of the VX 1000. I saw a VX 9000 for sale. What? For sale for not a bad price. Dude, I swear sometimes I'm dyslexic. Always wanted to get a RCA CPR 300. Just like the look. I will have to look that one up as well. See, there's a lot of camcorders that you guys know of that I've never even heard of. So I appreciate you guys sharing all these different cameras out there. Okay, we'll keep moving. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cameras left, and they're kind of more modern. So I will start off with this guy. So I went to the Idaho Youth Ranch, which is a Idaho-based thrift store. I seem to always have the best luck finding camcorders and cameras there. A lot of the other places I rarely find something. But I got all of the accessories in a bag and everything for like, what was it? $13.79. Yeah. And the only reason why I got this is, I said this earlier, this is the next model up from the first camera I ever bought, which was the Nikon Coolpix L820. I got that back in 2013, 2014, something like that. I was still in high school. I got some money for Christmas, and I was like, I really want to film me and my friends out at the skate park. And I think I went to Walmart or Fred Meyer's or something like that, and just found the camera that was in my price budget, and it was the Nikon Coolpix L820. Well, this one is the Coolpix L840. So I don't know if they made an L830, but I assume they probably went up by even digits. So this is pretty much the exact same camera. It's not a camcorder, it's like a point and shoot camera. This one's cool because it has a flip up tiltable LCD screen, which my L820 didn't. I don't remember how expensive these ones were or what year it came out. I don't know if it says anything anywhere on it. Oh wait, no, never mind. Yeah, it doesn't say what year it came out. But I would probably say somewhere around like 2014 or 2015 this probably came out. So, just kind of a nostalgia thing. I don't think these are really all that great, but funny story, when I had one of these, I had this, I don't even know if you can find them anymore, but it was this fisheye attachment. And it was like, it screwed onto the end of it, and it had this big metal cylinder, and you slid it over the lens assembly here, and it had these 3 screws that you tightened, and it actually pushed into the body to hold itself in place. And then when you turn it on, you had to zoom in a bit to get it, because it was like looking like that, and so you had to get it so that you had the vignette on the outside to give it the right look and all that. And I had no idea what I was doing with cameras. I didn't know that I had to turn the stabilization off and all that. So like the lens, you could see it just like doing that while I'm filming people and stuff. I have an old channel where I used to post all my scooter videos. Just look up my name, Brandon Aldridge, on YouTube, and I have an old channel that I used to post to. It's just a bunch of old scooter videos. And you can see a lot of the early stuff was filmed on this, and I ended up dropping the fisheye and it cracked, and so a lot of the stuff you can just see it's just this shattered glass on one side. It was so dumb, but I had a lot of fun. There's still there's a lot of memories on that channel, and I mean, they were bad, but you know, I was 15, 16, 17 years old filming. So anyway, yeah, I just figured I'd do that. I'll make a video on this at some point. I just found it and got it because it's always cheaper to find something at a thrift store than it is to buy off of eBay. So what are we saying here? Since you started collecting, have you ever seen a rise in prices for mini DV or whatever tape? Have I? Not really. I haven't really seen a big like price hike in stuff. Generally, it all stays about the same. It kind of just depends on the seller. In my opinion, or in my experience, I see people who either don't know anything about the camera and they'll just either sell it for parts or not working because they don't have a battery or charger for it. And sometimes you can, I mean, if it looks clean and it doesn't look like it's, you know, been through it, you can usually buy it for, you know, a pretty cheap, easy price, and maybe it just needs like a tape head cleaning. Other people, you know, they see that it works, and maybe it comes with like a tape or two, some original accessories and stuff, and people will ask for like VX1000s, for instance. They're generally like $700 to like $1,000 for a working one that's an English model. And then if you get, I don't know, accessories and stuff like that with it, or you get one of those big silver 3CCD boxes that you can put it in, people just ask for way too much. So it kind of just depends on the seller. If they know that the camera works, that sometimes they'll try and sell it for like a ridiculous amount. I've seen Canon GL1s and GL2s. People will try to sell them for like $500-$600, and it's like, no, dude, come on. Just because it works and it comes with a battery, charger, and a tape doesn't mean that it's worth $600. So if you see cameras that are, you know, super pricey like that, people are just trying to get all the money they can out of it, and they probably won't sell those for a while until they start dropping that price. So before you buy a camera, just kind of look and see what like the average price is for that camera on eBay and other secondhand websites, and then you'll kind of know the ballpark of how much you should be paying for it depending on its condition. And you can always try and lowball people too if they allow it. But this next one is not my camera, but it's my wife's camera. And I bought this back in 2018 for her birthday. And this is the Fujifilm Instax SQ6. It's like a little Polaroid camera. Fun little thing to take pictures with. Some of my videos where I'm standing at like my wood table, you might see the pictures that are up on the wall. We have like a little corkboard that we'll go out on trips and stuff like that and take a selfie or maybe a picture of the landscape or something, and then we'll write, you know, the date and location of where it was taken and put it on our little corkboard. So we just have a bunch of Polaroid pictures on our corkboard, and just kind of fun to go back and look at the trips that we've done on our corkboard. So it's probably her favorite birthday present she's ever gotten, and she still uses it to this day. So I think I paid like $120 for it back in 2018. I don't know if they have newer and better models out there yet, but I think you can still find these on like Amazon and stuff. But man, the film for this is kind of expensive. I think you get, what is it, 10 things of film in one cartridge, and it's like $20 for a pack, something like that. So it's like $2 a picture. So anyway, yeah, that's this little thing, and they come in a few different colors and stuff, I think, as well. I think I bought my mom one as well, and it's like a blue one, so pretty cool. We're kind of getting more into the like more modern stuff now, so now it's not as fun, but still figured I'd show you what I all have. I like bridge cameras. I have several. They are great grab and go cameras. What's a bridge camera? Is that like is that one of the like SD card HDD ones, or is that one of the ones that's like a DVD slash SD card one? I'm not sure what a bridge camera is. Let me know. I have two VX2100s. One has a bad pinch roller, and the other one has a broken motor. I think I should take the pinch roller from one with the bad motor and put it in the good VX. Yeah. No, wait. Let me read that again. Has a broken motor. So yeah, I would take the pinch roller from the VX2100 that has the bad, no. Take the pinch roller from the VX2100 that has the bad motor and put it in the camera that has the bad pinch roller. Yeah, that sounds like the easier option. So that shouldn't be too hard. You just got to be careful. I hate messing with that stuff because it's such tiny little parts, and one small little thing can just damage it. And sometimes you have to take those things so far apart just to get one piece off, and it's so annoying. Mini DV is the most pain in the ass thing to work on, especially the tape decks. Oh my gosh. So, next one. Now this one's technically my wife's as well, but she rarely uses it. This one is the Canon M50. This is a mirrorless camera. We got this in 2019. Kind of cool. So it was the first time I took my wife to Phoenix, Arizona. I went there back in 2016 on a scooter trip with some friends, and I thought it was really cool. A few years goes by, and I was like, that place was pretty cool. I kind of want to take her and go show her the desert. We ended up buying NASCAR tickets, we went and watched the 2019 fall Phoenix race. That was a snooze fest. Oh my gosh. I don't know if anybody's into NASCAR or anything, but anyway, yeah, we ended up buying this camera there at a Best Buy. So kind of cool that this was almost like a trip gift, I guess. So got this on a trip, and yeah, I really like the way that this camera looks. The footage looks really good. I just find it annoying that you have to have the adapter. There's a specific adapter you have to have to use regular Canon DSLR lenses, because the mirrorless lenses are a different size than the DSLR lenses for Canon. So yeah, if anyone's looking for like a mirrorless camera and doesn't want to pay a whole lot, I definitely recommend the Canon M50. They do have a Mark II, and I think it has like a better battery life, because this one, the battery life on this is terrible, awful. So yeah, we kind of bought it for her because I was using a Canon HFG40 at the time, and she wanted to try out like photography and stuff. She didn't really get into it all that much, so I'll use it every once in a while on the channel. I usually kind of keep it charged up just in case I forget to charge up my other camera that I usually film with. Then I got kind of like a backup. So yeah, that is the Canon M50. So I think it originally came out in like 2018, but we bought it in 2019. Let's see. Yeah, might as well. Next is the DJI Mavic Mini. I don't remember when this one came out. I think it was either 2019 or 2020. My wife bought me one of these in 2020. I think it was the first stimulus check I think we got. Boy, 2020 was a interesting time, wasn't it? Depends on who you are, whether you enjoyed that year or not. I personally really enjoyed 2020. But yeah, I think we bought this with our first stimulus check, and I think these were $400 when they came out. They might have like a Mark II of this out, or a different version that's out now. But I was out in the, whoa, what is it? It's Craters of the Moon State Park, I think it is. I don't think Idaho doesn't have a national park, so it was a state park. I was out there and I was flying. It's a bunch of lava rock and stuff like that, and I flew it down to this canyon, and I swear it's like this this was like some voodoo type shit, I swear. So it was like February, March, so there's still snow, some, and I went down to this kind of canyon. It looks like a big hole in the ground, and I was just flying it in there, seeing like what I could see, and the propellers kind of made an echo in there, and it scared a bunch of birds. So they all kind of flew out of like this cave system and like out of the rocks and stuff, because it's all lava rock and a lot of it's kind of caved in and stuff. Well, here comes this gigantic snow owl that flew out of there, and I was watching it because I was like, holy crap, it's a snow owl. That thing is gigantic. And then all of a sudden my drone, it just starts flying by itself to the left. And I notice it, and I'm like, oh crap. So I get the controls and I'm trying to save it, and it crashes into the rocks, falls down in the bottom, it's in the snow, and I'm like, fuck. So luckily enough, there was a path that went down in there. But I think it sat in the snow for too long. Ended up getting water damage, and it was broken. So I gave that to my father-in-law, and he ended up fixing it, but he hasn't flown it yet, so I don't know if it actually works or not. I was selling some other stuff at that time and used the money to buy a second one. And I rarely use this, but I don't really want to get rid of it, because I swear as soon as I get rid of it, I'm going to want to use it. So this is a really cool camera. They're really fun, but I wish it had more sensors on it, because it only has sensors on the bottom and it doesn't have it around it. So I'm a little too scared to use it because I don't want to crash it. That's another reason why I don't use it all that much. And it always seems like it's super windy every time I go to use it. So I don't know. I always forget to bring it, or it needs some kind of update, or yeah. They're kind of at least these DJI ones, they're kind of they're kind of a pain in the ass to set up and get going. So that, and I don't know if drones are going to become illegal or something. So anyway, yeah, this one came out in like 2019, 2020, and it was like $400. Okay, next up is my workhorse. And this one is the Canon SL3, and I think it's still currently Canon's smallest DSLR that they make. I think I ended up selling my Canon HFG40 somewhere on Facebook. This is back in 2021. I sold it for $700. The dude gave me cash, and he made me feel really awkward about, you know, counting the cash. So I didn't count it right, and then I got into my truck and counted it again, and he gave me $650. So he kind of scammed my ass, but I also kind of ripped him off because the zoom was kind of messed up. So it would just kind of zoom out all by itself. So we both kind of screwed each other. Anyway, so I used that money to buy this. This one was $700 for the whole thing. There's a train going by, so I apologize. So really, I only had to pay like $50 of my own money, and I think I ordered it on Amazon, and I use it quite a bit. The battery life is really, really good on this. And another cool thing about this and the Canon M50 is you can actually connect it to the Canon app, and you can actually use it from your phone. So you can like adjust the settings and all that kind of stuff, watch playback, transfer footage and pictures from the camera to your phone, and, you know, use it for like social media and all that. So yeah, I don't mind it all that much. I don't know. I got a few different lenses and stuff that I use with it. This one's just the kit lens that's on there. It's an 18 to 55 millimeter. I generally don't use this one. I mostly just use a, what is it, a 10 to 18 millimeter wide angle, and a I think they call it a prime lens. So it's just the 50 millimeter Canon lens. It's like the f1.81 or whatever. It's like $125 brand new. But those are like the two that I use on the channel. So yeah, that's the Canon SL3. Not all that much to talk about on it because it's just a DSLR. Okay, so next wow, I can't talk anymore. Next up is the GoPro Hero 10. So I did have the GoPro Hero 9, and this is a story. So I was using it for like kayaking and stuff. I've tried out a few different channels on YouTube, and me and my wife were kind of just doing kind of like a travel channel / like kind of camping channel, and like an outdoorsy kind of channel. And so I was doing a lot of kayaking and stuff, and we went to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. If you don't know, that's where like Teton National Park is. You can go whitewater rafting on the Snake River. And this was back in 2021, I believe. And for whatever reason, that spring had a whole bunch of rain up in Yellowstone National Park. And there was a bunch of landslides and flooding and stuff like that. Well, that all flows down into the Snake River, and that goes through Jackson Hole. So we went whitewater rafting like right after that, and it was like the highest level of water that like they've almost ever seen on that river. And it was moving, man. Like it was nasty. Like it was I don't think the boat should have been on the water. So I had my GoPro Hero 9 on my head, and I was, you know, they let me sit on the front of the boat and like pretend I'm like a cowboy and stuff like that, going through like the rapids and stuff like that. And we went through, I think it was the Big Kahuna Rapids, or it was Lunch Counter, one of the two. It was the biggest rapids that they had there. And as soon as we hit, man, I got knocked out, and I landed in the freaking river. GoPro flies off my head, completely lost it. And right when my head goes into the water, I freaking got water in my mouth, and I swallowed it the wrong way. So now I'm gasping for air, and I'm going through the rapids of this, you know, they're class 4 rapids, and I'm pretty much drowning. And I'm trying to keep my head up above the water so I can catch my breath and cough out the water, because I swallowed it the wrong way, and I make it through, and I am freaking out at this point. And the boat's behind me, and they're telling me to swim towards the boat. How am I supposed to swim upstream to the boat? So I'm trying to swim over to the bank, and they eventually got me into the boat, and I was freaked out. Like, I almost like started crying and stuff, and like I haven't gone whitewater rafting since then. So my birthday that year, my mom bought me, birthday or was it Christmas? One of the two. She bought me the GoPro Hero 10. So that's the whole reason why I have this. And yeah, so long story short, don't go whitewater rafting, but don't be overly confident with it, because you can get knocked out into the water pretty easily. And that was the first time that's ever happened to me, and that was really, really scary. So anyway, this little lens I got on here, it's a little fisheye lens. I found some app on my phone where I could do like reviews or something like that, for companies, and this company sent me a little light and this lens, and all they wanted was just an Amazon review, and I never did it, so they just sent this to me for free, and they never said anything to me about it. So I mostly just use this for filming like fingerboarding and stuff. So I have a fingerboard page on Instagram called bimpy.fb. If you guys want to go check that out, a lot of stuff is filmed with this. It just looks good, and it sounds pretty good, and it's a lot easier to use than your phone. So yeah, GoPro Hero 10. That's the story behind it. Okay, last one here. I'm getting really close to having to go to work, so I need a review. This company, Amita, I think, I don't know, whatever that says, Amita. They sent me an email asking me if I wanted to do a video review on their S20 Lite drone, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? It's supposed to be like a budget drone. It's a lot easier to set up and all that with your phone, rather than the DJI. But if you want to just try, you know, if you're a beginner in drone flying, and you want to just like get something that's not super expensive, and you don't have to worry about crashing and you know, wasting a bunch of money if you crash it, you know, you can get one of these. But to get like actually good shots and to be able to control it very good, really, really freaking hard. Has no stabilization. You don't have like a nice slow pan and stuff. I have a review on it. If you guys want to check it out, it's on my channel. It claims that it's 4K, but I'm pretty sure this is just a lot of Chinese companies like to put dash cam cameras in their cameras and claim that it's 4K, but you can't tell me that little tiny camera there records in 4K. I think it says it records in like 2.7K, but still, it's not. I don't think so. The stabilization is just terrible, and I don't really recommend it. But well, I do recommend it if you are a beginner in flying drones and you just want to try something to dip your toes in, like I said in my review. So but yeah, that's that. I don't really know what to do with this. I don't know if I'm going to use it. I don't know if I want to try filming a video and try see if I can actually get, you know, cinematic looking footage with it. Might be an idea someday, but yeah, I got this for free. If anybody wants a free drone, hit me up. I'll just send it to you because I don't really need it. So I don't think I'll be able to really sell it on eBay either. But anyway, yeah, that is the collection. And my voice is hoarse now. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I really appreciate it. I thought that this would just be a fun video, just to kind of go over like the cameras that I have currently. Some I are holding on to. Wow, I cannot talk anymore. Some of them are my personal ones that I'm going to keep, and some of them are going to be for sale and are for sale. So let's see. I'll give it a few more minutes before I got to get going. I really wish I had another water. Where were we? Pentax even made a VHS camcorder. I didn't know that. I know they made Video 8 ones. So I guess my question for you guys, out of these cameras that I just showed you, which one's your favorite? Which one would you like to own? Or do you own any of these ones? Which ones do you own? I like oh yeah, we already read that one. Canon PowerShot A540? No, I don't think I have. The Nikon you were holding is a bridge camera. Nikon? Wait, the Nikon Instax? I didn't know that was a bridge camera. I thought that was like a Polaroid. Like it just takes like physical pictures. I use VHS-C camcorders. VHS-C camcorders are probably some of the most reliable ones. My favorite is the Panasonic versions of them. I love them too because they're always like there's a million different kinds of VHS-C camcorders out there, and they, for the most part, all work. Would you ever recommend a Panasonic Mini DV camcorder? Yes, I would say like it goes neck and neck with Sony camcorders. I think that Panasonic and Sony camcorders are probably some of the best, reliability wise, like build quality and all that. Now they have some cheaper ones that are out there that aren't like the 3CCD versions and stuff, but for the most part, yeah, like Panasonic Mini DV camcorders are really good. Every time I try to swim, I swallow water the wrong way. Yeah, I don't know how to swim. I mean, I can move, you know, I can get to point A to point B, but keeping myself afloat in one spot, I can't do it. So, I mean, I had a life jacket on, obviously, but yeah. I don't know if anyone's ever been wet water rafting out there, but yeah, I think the one in Jackson Hole, Wyoming is probably like one of the more gnarly rivers that you can do. And that's why I don't go swimming. Yeah, I don't really swim all that often either. I like kayaking though. That's always fun. Okay, so I don't really know what else to talk about with everybody. Great stream. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, of course. I hope to try and do this like once a year. I didn't do one of these last year. I think I don't know, didn't want to do it, or I didn't have. I had a lot of like the same cameras that I had from like 2023 that were like my personal ones, but I figured this one would just be fun just because I got a new camera in. I was like, you know, I haven't made one of these videos for a long time, so I might as well just hang out with everybody. That, and I feel like I've been just kind of lacking on content, making videos and all that. It can get a little monotonous sometimes, so sometimes just mixing it up and just kind of doing like a live video can yeah, there's not really, I mean, there's effort to it, but like I don't have to edit anything, you know, like I can just hang out and like ask you guys questions, and you guys can ask me questions and all that. So what was I gonna say? I don't know. I don't know, like, is there any kind of content that you guys want to see? Like, obviously, like, I'm not a filmmaker, I'm not a professional at any of this. I'm just some dude that likes to check out old cameras. I'm just kind of a nerd. There's not a lot of people in my area that are super into this, so it's like the only time I ever get to talk about it or engage with it is like through my Discord page or Discord server, or, you know, through here, comments, all that kind of stuff. Kind of seems like a lot of people like look at me weird Like why do you like cameras that are 20 years old? Like why don't you want, you know, the new Sony Alpha? I don't even know what new Sony cameras are out right now, but you know, I don't know. And I feel like a lot of people are like, why would you want an old camera like this when I can just use the camera that's on my phone? It's like the experience is totally different. I need to make a video about just ranting about that. That's another thought that I've had. I have a lot of notes in my phone of just like video ideas, but it's like it's just executing on it and like actually making the videos. So I don't know. I'm just spewing thoughts out. Um, do you know that Made Sharp VHS? See, the stream was so interesting. Thank you. Camcorders will be popular again. Give it time. Now I see people using them more. Yeah, I think it's kind of getting trendy just using these old cameras. I mean, if any of you guys have Instagram, or I assume TikTok as well, you guys have probably seen dingy cams, or dev builds. Dude, those guys just rape people for their money on those cameras and stuff that they sell. Like they're almost like weirdly gatekeeping because they get an immersion power play, a camera, and then like somebody to make them some cables, and they sell them for like $800. And it's like, are you serious? I don't even think that the cameras that they're selling were even that much when they came out. So yeah, I don't want to be that person, but I want to find a way to like make money doing this. There's a cool Instagram account that I like. It's called SoCal Cams. No, SoCal Cameras, and they just opened up a brick and mortar shop, and they sell like old camcorders. They sell like fisheyes. They sell like immersion power plays, point and shoot cameras, film cameras, a bunch of different stuff. And it's a pretty cool little website that they got, and their little shop is really cool. So it'd be cool to have like a physical used camera shop, but the town that I'm in just doesn't. Nobody cares about any of that. No one would support it. So I don't know. I've thought about trying out the like farmers market or like a craft fair or something like that, and just kind of get the name out there. But for now, I'm just selling on eBay. eBay kind of sucks too, because it seems like they take like, no matter what I sell, they take about $50 from what I sell. So with like the fisheyes and stuff that I sell, it's kind of why I have to like raise the like why I have the price where I do, is because the cost for me to get them made and shipped here is a, you know, X amount of price, but then I gotta get, you know, I gotta make some kind of profit on it, but eBay takes $50 from it, so like the price that I have it at is like in the ballpark of what I need. So it's, I got too many damn ideas. ADHD is a killer, isn't it? It would be cool if they made VHS-C camcorders again. Yes, I have a cool idea. It's not going to happen, but it would be really cool if Sony did like a limited run of the Sony VX1000s, because I think this year is like the 30th year anniversary of the Sony VX1000. So it would be cool if they like remade, I don't know, 5,000 of them. No, that might be too many. 2,000 of them or something like that. But then somehow got rid of the like tape deck and just made it somehow just use like SD cards, because it would have all the components of like 3C CD sensors and the mic and everything like that. It would just record to SD card instead of mini DV. So that would be really cool. I would shoot that idea to them, but probably would never get through to anybody. When you zoom in or out on your TRV 900, does it make a buzzing noise? I don't know. I gotta look at it. I have had cameras where it makes that kind of noise. I think it has something to do with the motor that controls the zoom. I don't know if that means that the motor is going out or anything, but I have heard that on cameras. Old camcorders have a nostalgic vibe that I love. That's why I'm into old camcorders. Yeah. There's just a different aspect and a different feel to these old camcorders that you don't really get with newer stuff. I mean, I would even say like newer camcorders, there's just a different experience using those over like your phone or a DSLR. They're just funner to use. They look cool. No. Like with the tape ones, like it doesn't matter what kind of tape camera. There's something to do with the way that it looks, the mechanical aspect of the tape and all that. And then it's like the whole process of like capturing it and stuff like that. It kind of like makes the end product be like, dang, this is super cool. So I think it's kind of the same idea of like why people like to shoot pictures on like 35mm film or just film cameras in general. Is like because you got one shot, I guess, on it, and that's your picture. So it kind of takes a little bit more time to set up and get the right shot, which camcorder's not the same necessarily, but they're also kind of in the same ballpark, if that makes any kind of sense. There's more time consuming aspects of it. You have a Discord too? Yeah, I need to. I should have put that in the description. If you go to the about section of my channel, there should be a link on there. I have a couple Instagram accounts on there, and then I think my eBay shop and my Discord link is on there. So there's a lot of great people in there. I'm not in there as frequently, but I'll pop in every once in a while and see what people are talking about. So yeah, I mean, like you can message me and stuff like that on there as well, or you can message me on one of my Instagrams if you need to. But yeah, that's pretty much how you're gonna have to find it. I'll try to remember to post it, the Discord link, after the stream, which, speaking of that, I do got to get going here in just a second. I'll read the rest of your comments. Old camcorder. Okay, we read that. Do you have any fungus on your cams? I don't think so. Like inside the lens, I don't believe I do. I know like the VX1000s sometimes do. No. No, I don't think so. I thought that there might have been one, but I don't think so. Modern video cameras have a teal-looking blue piss yellow. Quality is great, but the color is off. Okay, I'm glad that you said that because I feel the same way about like the Canon. What is it? The HF? No. The Canon HFG40 I had, and then I checked out the Canon XA10, and I hate the footage that comes out of those. For whatever reason, when I first got the HFG40, I thought the footage looked pretty good out of it, but then like it was like over time, I'm like, there's something wrong with the way that this looks, and I couldn't figure it out. And yeah, I don't know. I don't like the sensors or whatever the heck that they use for those. So I kind of talk about it a lot more in my review on the XA10. There's something weird about that footage. It's metallic looking. The piss yellow is so funny to me. Got myself a DCR PC100 just because your videos. Yeah, that's a good little camera to start out with if that's like your first one. I actually did just check one out. I don't know if you've been in the stream for a while or not. No, nah. But yeah, I have a personal one as well. The scroll wheel's kind of messed up on it, but it generally works fine. I buy my VHS cams on Goodwill online store, but they are cheap. I see a lot of good stuff on there as well, but a lot of stuff just seems like it's just gonna I'm gonna get it and it's gonna be broken. If I'm gonna buy something and try and keep it, I'll pay a good price for it. But like if I'm trying to buy something, make a video about it, and then like put it up on my eBay to sell to you guys or whatever, I tried to find something that's a little bit more cheaper, just because I want you guys to be able to afford it, and I don't want it to be like, if I buy this for $300, I don't want to try and sell it for $400-$500, because everybody else's cameras are $300, if that makes any kind of sense. So I want to buy it for $100 and then get like the battery and tape and charger and all that kind of stuff if it needs it, and then sell it for $250, $300, whatever. So yeah. Just got back from filming and started an edit. Are you filming skateboarding, or are you filming, I don't know, what are you filming? What are you filming with? Paid $65, complete in a box for the DCR PC100. Ooh, heck yeah, that's awesome. It's always great when you can actually get like the original accessories and like the box and everything with your buys. Just kind of makes it feel like it's much better quality, and it's kind of been more like preserved. So that's cool that you got that. So anyway, I gotta go to work at like 3:30, so I got like 15 minutes to get ready to go. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I appreciate it. It seems like a lot of you guys enjoy this kind of live stream. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to do like I'll have to go live with one of you guys or something like that, and maybe you guys can share your camcorder collections with me on the channel as well. That's a good idea. Might have to try that. But yeah, I gotta clean all this up and hurry and go to work. So again, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for sticking around, and hopefully you will enjoy the next reviews that I come out with. So I gotta go, and you guys have yourselves a good afternoon.